Good morning and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, November 25th. Would you please join me in a salute to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The other commissioners that will be assisting us this morning with the meeting is Brent Smoyer, Vice Chair, Deb Shore. On my right, Commissioner Jane Raybould and Commissioner Roma Amundsen. County Attorney's Office will be with us this morning. Deputy Brittany Behrens. Corey Beatty will be our recording clerk, and we'll begin the agenda with County Clerk Dan Nolte.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, November 18th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second.
Are there additions or corrections? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybould,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through Tuesday, November 25th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybould,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation, recognition of the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau for support and sponsorship of the 2014 Cornhusker State Games. Jeff Mall, Executive Director.
Well, Jeff, I got to had the distinct honor at the All Sports banquet the other evening of receiving this award, but really the place that belongs is in your office, and we really appreciate all the work that you do. Brent's got a few words for you, and then we'd like to have you respond.
I just want to give you this award. Larry was kind enough to collect it at the banquet on your behalf and on the behalf of the Convention Visitors Bureau. I just got to say personally, having worked 4 years on the VPC and worked with your organization, I tell you what, it's one of the things I'm going to miss most when I'm gone. You guys have been nothing but professional, fantastic, and just an asset to the community across the board. And so I just hope you keep up the great work. Looking forward to see what comes into the arena and the event center and everything else you do to keep this community growing. And thank you for all your work, Jeff.
Yes, thank you so much. I think the wrinkles on this program show that Larry and I actually wrestled for this that night, so appreciate it. A couple quick words. I appreciate all of the support of the county board. We are today who we are as far as tourism because of the support of this board, the entire county, the city, and everything that we do in this community together. And it is truly about collaboration in getting things done, and I think the collaboration that we have in this community right now is a story that we can tell nationwide of how you get things done. And the Cornhusker State Games is just one example of that. What they've done with the Cornhusker State Games and the collaboration that we have with those folks allows us to do what we're doing next summer and hosting the State Games of America. 15,000 athletes strong from across the country. We're looking at $30 to $40 million of economic impact next summer from one event. And that is something that 12 years ago when I started with the Bureau, you didn't see happen. We just didn't do the kind of things we're doing today. So it is a collaborative effort, and we appreciate the support of everybody.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate your leadership, telling us when facilities need to be improved, the mini grants, just a lot of ideas that you and the VPC have constantly brought before us. And this guy, whenever he comes back from one of your meetings, he's all pumped up. Well, this is what they're thinking about. This is what they're thinking about. And I'm glad that you took a little bit of time to talk about the state games, because our state games will be incorporated into those, so the local people can still participate, but it's just going to be bigger and better, and it's going to take a lot of volunteers to get it done. You guys got that all mapped out?
Well, we definitely need volunteers. You can go to State Games of America, the website, and seek out volunteer opportunities, sponsorship opportunities. This is real similar to what we did with Special Olympics when we needed everybody in the community to reach out. And I still remember back to the day when we landed these games. Dave Manerick and staff, we were down in Dallas, Texas, and it was us versus San Diego. And when you think about Lincoln, Nebraska versus San Diego, California, it's a daunting task. They've got a lot of things that we'll never have. But when I could stand up and say that the one thing we do in this community better than anybody else is we support through volunteerism, through corporate sponsorship, and when your event is our community, your event is our only focus. We focus that much better than anybody else. So it was a big thing for us, and we appreciate the support.
Well, I have to tell you that it's not only sporting activities, but it's a whole slew of other activities. And I think of the Sports Car Organization of America, which is fantastic. It's phenomenal, just the crowds of people that come to Lincoln, Nebraska for that event. And I'm hooked on that one. I didn't think I would be such a speed demon about racing a car, but I have to tell you, that was a thrill, and it was a lot of fun. And I think it's all these activities combined just make Lincoln and Lancaster County such a great place to have an event.
Yeah, great quality of life. And Brent, I'm glad from a parting gift standpoint that I could give you Pablo Sandoval from the San Francisco Giants to your Red Sox as you depart.
We
So
very much appreciate
good
that.
luck
We
with that.
collect our rings next year.
Well, Jeff, please convey our thanks to the rest of your staff, because they helped earn that too. But well-run Convention Visitors Bureau, and keep up the good work, and congratulations.
All right, guys, have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Next is number four, public hearings. Comprehensive Plan Amendment 14005, South Salt Creek Watershed Master Plan.
And we'd like to open the public hearings, and we'd like to open and close each of the items, A, B, and C. So might be a little bit of repetition, but if we can take them in that order, we'd appreciate it. So with that, we'll open the public hearing on Comprehensive Plan 14005.
Can I go ahead and swear you in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Good morning. My name is Jared Nelson with Watershed Management, part of Public Works, and I'm going to give an overview of the 3 watershed master plans. And if it's okay, I might just summarize all 3 together in this brief presentation. I'll be available with questions for the others, but just to get started. The 3 watershed master plans in front of you today are to be considered for adoption as part of the comp plan and the list of sub-area plans and watershed master plans. And this is a continuation of efforts that we've been doing watershed master plans throughout the city of Lincoln. We have, are you able to see the map here? Do I need to turn it on? Thank you. We've previously done 7 watersheds and watershed master plans and there's a map coming up here soon with Dead Man's Run, Antelope Creek, Stevens Creek. And these 3 here, Middle Creek, Haynes Branch, and what we're calling South Salt Creek, those are the ones that we studied. And just to give you a kind of a overview here, these 3 watersheds, Middle Creek, Haynes Branch, and South Salt Creek, they actually extend out beyond Lancaster County. They get into Saline County and Seward County. And so we cut them off at the ETJ, the 3-mile extraterritorial jurisdiction, just to kind of focus on the area that's going to be developed in the relative near future. And with these watersheds, the main focus or goal was to do an evaluation of the streams, the geomorphic assessment or stream stability assessment, and also to look at water quality and to come up with CIP projects. This was a joint effort between the county and the Lower Platte South NRD and the city of Lincoln, and the funding was primarily between the city of Lincoln and the Lower Platte South NRD. And with the water quality, we did a little bit of sampling. We had USGS do some water quality sampling. We also had our consultant Intuition Logic go out and walk the streams, and they did a geomorphic assessment, which is looking at the streams and how they change with, they meander and they erode, the banks erode, or they might change. And so we had them go out and walk all these streams. They walked over 100 miles of streams altogether, kind of boots on the ground, got a good look at things. And in doing that, they were able to take inventory of the things that they saw, the different assets, the different features, both positive and negative, mainly the negative things, where erosion was occurring and where maybe they need to do a project. And so with that, they were able to come up with the CIP projects, and I'll go over that in a moment. But all the projects and were stream stability projects. I guess I do have I will want to touch briefly on, we did have a lot of public involvement with this project. We did several open houses where we had over 100 people come, and we put message boards out. We had a fairly good turnout. We sent out mailings to everyone that lives along the channel, and a lot of residents and businesses and organizations. And we sent out several newsletters. And one of 3 different newsletters, and I'm going to use this newsletter to just give you a brief example of the types of projects that we saw. And so here you can see the capital improvement projects were primarily stream stability, and so it's either grade control projects, bank stabilization projects, or stilling basin projects. And I have a couple examples later on, but that's really all it was, is the stream. There's a lot of projects to sort of keep the stream held in place to prevent those banks from sloughing off and threatening roads and infrastructure. And also there's a lot of culverts, county culverts, for example, that the outfalls are, sort of eroded out. So there's projects to address that also. And with that, I'll just summarize the different capital improvement projects here. So here is Haynes Branch, and these are the locations of the different CIP projects that our consultant identified. And with those, they came up with a cost estimate and also a priority score. And the prioritization is consistent with our other master plans, so that we can take the priority of these projects and add them into our list of other CIP projects. And here are the CIP projects that were identified in Haynes Branch. The total, here's the priority ranking and the score and the cost totaling to $2.3 million for those. And here is Middle Creek. Again, they're all stream stability projects. And 4 grade controls, 1 bank stabilization. Here is the priority score and the cost for those. So those total to $1.7 million. And the funding, we don't have a funding source identified or encumbered yet, but generally the funding comes from our stormwater bond and the Lower Platte South NRD when it's decided to do these as part of our CIP implementation. And this is South Salt Creek watershed with projects there, 19 stream stability projects. And again, the priority score and the total adding up to $6.7 million. So I guess I do have a few examples just to show you. Here's an example of a stream stability project. So here you can see the stream in the dark, and this is Van Dorn Street out by Folsom Street. And what is proposed is bank stabilization along the outer bends of the stream to protect the road. So pretty straightforward projects. Mm-hmm. Here's another one. This is an outfall out at South First Street, and you might not be able to see the picture there, but the outfall, it's eroded a big hole on the downstream side of the culvert. And so the project is to add in some riprap or grade control to repair that and then help prevent it from happening in the future anymore. So I guess with that, I will close. And, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I'll be sitting over here.
A lot is spent on grade stabilization, bank stabilization. One of the things that I notice as I drive in on 180 is over the years there's a tremendous buildup of silt in the bottom of Salt Creek. There's kind of an alluvial plain that has been there. Is there any thought to cleaning that out to increase the capacity of the?
I don't recall any projects that specifically address that. Again, we were looking at South Salt Creek from Roca about up to where the levees start.
Where that isn't a problem. It's just that what's eroded down there has gone further down and depositing down here.
Yeah, so we didn't necessarily evaluate that up in, through the levee section, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Other questions that you might have? Cheryl? If not, thank you. Are there others which wish to speak either for, against, or in a neutral position on Comprehensive Plan 14005? If not, we'll close the public hearing on that. And the county attorney said after we get done with all three, they'd prefer if we had a motion to direct them to prepare resolutions for a Tuesday board meeting. But we should go ahead and hold the hearings on all three of them first. So we'll open the public hearing on Comprehensive Plan Amendment 14006. Anybody wish to speak on that one? Either for, against, or in a neutral position? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing on Comprehensive Plan Amendment 14006 and open the Comprehensive Plan hearing on Amendment 14007. Again, anybody wishes to make comment on that? Mr. Zillig, the NRD, anything that you'd want to say about any of these? You're the primary funding source, I understand.
Paul Zillig with Lower Platte South NRD.
Can I swear you in here? You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir. The NRD has taken up all three master plans, and we are a 50-50 partner with the city watershed management on them. The board's approved them. We feel like they're good plans. They address some of the problems out there and are real supportive of, and hope the county board approves them.
And your funds are primarily property tax?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Stormwater bonds.
Yeah, cities would
City
be
side.
through stormwater bonding.
Mm-hmm. Any questions of Mr. Zillig or the NRD? Again, anyone else wishes to speak on Comprehensive Plan Amendment 14007? Favor, against, or in a neutral position? If not, I'll close the public hearing on Plan Amendment 14007 and ask for direction from the board.
Mr. Chair, I move we direct the county attorney to prepare a resolution adopting comprehensive plan amendments 14005, 14006, and 14007.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is new business, a resolution in matter of approving a master site lease among the Lincoln Lancaster County Public Building Commission as lessee and the county and city of Lincoln, Nebraska jointly as lessor, a master lease agreement among the county and the city jointly as lessee and the commission as lessor, and the issuance of not to exceed $21 million in principal amount of the commission's tax-supported lease rental revenue refunding bonds, Series 2015, and related matters.
Well, welcome, Scott and Lauren.
Thank you. Good morning to you. Happy Thanksgiving. Scott Keene, Emeritus Investment Corp. Lauren Wismer with Gilmore and Bell. As mentioned in the title, here today to talk about a possible refunding of the Series 2004 and Series 2005 bonds of the Public Building Commission. Series 2004 bonds were issued to finance the County Health Department building, City County Health Department building. and currently are outstanding in the amount of approximately $5.7 million. Because the county was financed its share of that building over a 12-year period, and the city financed their portion over a 22-year period, the savings amounts are slightly different. The county's portion will be retired in 2016, so you'll only have about 2 years of savings. But because of the drop in interest rates, the county will save approximately $66,000 on a present value basis, where the city will save approximately $683,000 on a present value basis. The current bonds are outstanding at a rate of approximately 4.8%, and we can refund them with bonds at a rate of approximately 2.3%, so a significant drop in the interest rates. The second financing, the 2005 issue, was actually a refunding issue, refunding a Series 1996 issue for the Justice Facility, and those bonds are outstanding in the amount of approximately $14.7 million, again with a final maturity of 2026. So those bonds can be refunded for present value savings of approximately $1.4 million. So between the two financings, we're looking at a current estimate of present value savings of $2,150,000. So a very significant amount of savings to the Building Commission, which of course is then passed along to the city and the county and the respective taxpayers. So a great opportunity to take advantage of very, very low interest rates. Our current plan is to be shipping documents to the rating agencies, Moody's and Standard & Poor's, this week, and request ratings by the end of December, and proceed to market with a negotiated sale through Emeritus the very first full week of January. So we'll be moving very quickly to get all of this done. There's still a lot of work to be done, but Gilmore & Bell's done a terrific job of drafting the documents, and they're ready to go off to the rating agencies. The resolution that the board is considering has some changes that I'd like Lauren to walk through with regards to how the lease agreements will work between the county and the Building Commission and the city and the Building Commission, if you don't mind.
I would be happy to. I'm filling in for Mike Rogers, who's out of town, so you're stuck with me today. The resolution does look quite similar to resolutions that you've passed in the past, adopted in the past, with respect to the Public Building Commission. First, it approves the issuance of the bonds, which is required by statute. Second, in the prior financings, there have been a site lease from the county and or the city to the Building Commission, and then a lease back from the Building Commission to the county and the city. So the Building Commission has some ability to go in, make the improvements, and then the source of repayment, in addition to the levy authorized by the Building Commission, are the rental payments made by the county and the city. And over the period of time that the Building Commission has been in operation, we've accumulated a number of site leases and a number of lease agreements. And as we got to this financing, because we're pulling transactions from different times and different site leases, we thought it might be nice to consolidate everything into one master document. So one of the things you're approving today is a master site lease from the county and the city to the Building Commission, and then a master lease agreement from the Building Commission to the county and the city. And the idea here is, rather than executing new documents every time we do a financing, since all the provisions are basically the same through all the existing documents, let's just do a single document, and then when we do a new transaction, we'll just attach a new exhibit to it, and we'll list on the exhibit all the transactions that particular document applies to. So that's what we've done. That's what you're approving today. If you have any questions about that, I think going forward, it will make things a little simpler, because when we started working on this project and the documents, we said, okay, let's see, it's this site lease for the 2004 bonds, but this involved some refunding on the 2005 bonds, and that involved these properties, and that involved this other site lease and these other bonds. And so we thought, going forward, let's just have everything together in one place, so that all of us can keep our sanity, or at least what's left of it. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, Lauren, you've been our financial advisor and Gilmore Bell for many, many years, and I visited with Don Kleen, our property manager, this morning. He thinks this is a good move. Dennis Meyer has reviewed it, thinks it's the way to go too. Whenever we can do a refinancing and save that kind of money for the property taxpayers of Lancaster County, it just makes good sense. We appreciate both of you bringing these types of opportunities to us. And so, and you know, you're both taxpayers too. And
Exactly.
You've got a vested interest in doing what's best for all the citizens. And Commissioner Raybold has been an excellent member of the Public Building Commission. Jane, we're going to miss you. Your expertise in building systems and what you do with Russ's and Super Saver has been an addition. Sometimes you had to explain it a time or two to the rest of us, but Jane got most of this on the first go around.
Well, thank you very much. I think we're truly fortunate to have a great team of professionals helping us out to make these great decisions and to make sure that we have these opportunities to provide savings to our taxpayers. And certainly bond issues can get a little complicated, as can leasing transactions, and I think it's a brilliant idea to consolidate it into one lease agreement, one master document, and it'll help future elected officials and other teams of Gilmore and Bell, and certainly Emeritus, keep it all straight.
We're trying.
The explanation, is there a motion?
I will move approval of the resolution regarding the master site lease and the master lease agreement.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
And
Call the roll,
issuance-
please.
and
Go
the
ahead.
issuance of the bonds.
Item C,
Issuance of
issuance not to exceed, correct, the principal amount, correct.
We
Thank
can't
you.
forget the most important part.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you
very much.
both.
Thank you
And
very
thank you
much.
for your kind words, too. Appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Just one last thing. I did see something this week that I think we should all take note of. It was a little sign that said, "Remember to set your scales back 10 pounds this week."
I like it. I like it.
5B is a recommendation from purchasing and county corrections to award a bid to K2 Construction in the amount of $98,500 for correction facility storm sewer improvements per specification 14-275, line item 1.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Brent and I had an opportunity to visit with Mike Thurber, Corrections Director, this morning, and he explained this to us and where the money's coming from to pay for it. Okay, call the roll, please.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a 2013 subrecipient agreement for the Southeast Region with the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency for $104,763. Term of the agreement is September 1st, 2013 to August 31st, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5D is a federal equitable sharing agreement and annual certification report for the Lancaster County Attorney's Office regarding equitable sharing activity for drug forfeiture funds for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is amendment to County Contract C-8-626 with CBM Food Service for food service at the county correctional facilities. The amendment extends the agreement from December 2nd, 2014 to January 31st, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Director Thurber informs us this morning that we're feeding 549 people today, 3 times a day. Call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. F is a space rental agreement between the Lancaster Event Center and Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Treasurer for meeting space within the event center to be used for the round-robin bidding event of March 2nd, 2015.
Move approval?
Second.
I see we have the county treasurer's office. If you want to say something, you can. If not, we thank you for doing business with another county facility.
With our annual tax sale on delinquent taxes, we've outgrown the Cherry Creek address. 300 people.
Really?
and-
That
yeah,
much interest in
That much.
picking up back taxes?
We needed to find a larger place that would help, we could, we'll probably have 350 or so. So that's why we moved. And they're great to work with out there, and so.
Good.
that's-
It's, and I'll just mention, we were able to secure it at 50% less than what they normally charge.
Oh,
So
wow.
they gave us
Fantastic.
a really good deal. Yeah, so it's not much more than what we were paying, it's a little bit more, but the
But a lot more
venue, I
space.
think, is, parking's gonna be better, the venue's gonna be better, so I think hopefully with the signage, and we'll get people to go to the right place. I guess that's gonna be the biggest question, but hopefully in the years to come, this will be the venue that we'll use for it.
And you've discussed the signage with Amy. I'm sure she'll try to.
I got all kinds of stuff.
And this event is going to be on March 2nd,
Correct.
and you expect about 300 people there. And anybody that needs further information, can contact your office, Lancaster County Treasurer's Office, or give the website if you have it.
Yeah, www.lancaster.ne.gov//treasure. And you're right, that information's all on there, and I appreciate that, Larry. Yeah, so respectfully, if you would move forward with it, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Move approval? Second.
We already
Further
I thought that we did.
We already have a
Already had
motion
one?
and a second.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Sorry.
It never hurts to make sure we have one.
Yeah.
Call the roll, please.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore? Hudgens?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is an interlocal agreement with the Village of Bennett for law enforcement services within the village limits. The Lancaster County Sheriff will assign one deputy to duty in the village limits and provide a cruiser. The village will reimburse the county at the overtime rate of pay for the deputy assigned. Term of the agreement is September 1st, 2014 to August 31st, 2015.
Second?
Discussion? Sheriff, we appreciate these ongoing agreements. Anything you want to add?
Well, this is a continuation of a contract we've had with Bennett for a number of years. We have a contract with a number of the villages and cities in Lancaster County for dedicated law enforcement services that they feel they need in addition to to the normal patrol districts that we have. So this really works out well. And what we do is generally connect a deputy or two with the village. They work out a working schedule and then go from there.
Well, it's a credit to your office that you keep these deputies out there, because just we all, it's one more reminder to slow down, pay attention when we see one of the cars or one of the deputies out there. And certainly the working relationship that your officers have made with these communities pay big dividends. So thank you for fostering that program. Okay, call the roll, please.
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Hudgens?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is an agreement with the U.S. Department of the Interior, U.S. Geological Survey, in the amount of $12,200 for joint funding of water resource investigations. The agreement is for the operation and computation of records for 4 gauging stations: Salt Creek at Roca, Little Salt Creek near Lincoln, Stevens Creek near Lincoln, and Rock Creek near Ceresco. Term of the agreement is October 1st, 2014 to September 30th, 2015.
Move approval?
Second.
Discussion? This helps in advance flood warning. Call the roll, please.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Hudgens?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5I is an addendum to County Contract C-13-545 with the Vera Institute for Justice, Inc. for the Lancaster County Attorney's Office participation in Vera's prosecution and racial justice program. The addendum confirms the County Attorney's Office commitment to provide $60,000 for the project completion.
Move approval?
Second?
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Hudgens? Motion carries 5-0. J is an agreement with the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska at Omaha for preparation and presentation of the Nebraska Community Planning and Juvenile Justice Conference. The county shall pay up to $5,000 for the services.
Move approval?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins? Motion carries 5-0. 5K is a grant contract with the Hub Central Access Point for Young Adults, Inc. to provide funding in the amount of $46,570 for the Project Hire program. Term of the contract is July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Hudkins? Motion carries 5-0. L is an interlocal agreement with the Sarpy County to provide microfilming and scanning services. Sarpy County shall pay the Lancaster County for microfilm imaging services pursuant to Attachment A. Term of the agreement is February 1st, 2015 to January 31st, 2016.
Move approval?
Second.
Discussion? We thank Brian Pillard, microfilming records director, for getting this extra contract and doing some work for another county, bringing in some revenue. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Hudkins? Motion carries 5-0. M is amendment to County Contract C-12-682 with Sapp Brothers Petroleum for the annual supply of absorbents floor dry. The amendment renews agreement for an additional one-year term from December 11th, 2014 to December 10th, 2015.
Second?
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer? Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5N is utility permit number 1228 with Windstream Nebraska, Inc. for the installation of underground cable approximately 1,200 feet along Agnew Road between North 112th Street and North 134th Street.
Move approval.
Second?
Discussion? Pam Dingman, if you'd like to come up. The only question that I have on these next three is Windstream properly advised on where to lay this cable so it doesn't interfere with our culverts, and do you have that worked out with them?
And remember, Ken is usually the one that handles these in our office, and so those are, of course, things that we look at every year. I also, though, as I come up, wanted to remind you that the last time I was here, I talked about how I wasn't pleased with the way that Windstream's work was being handled in our right-of-way, and I just wanted to let you know that since then they have met with us and have told us that the things they were doing in our right-of-way will not continue, and they've taken corrective action. So
Good work. We thank you and Ken Schroeder, our highway engineer, and for taking care of that matter and visiting with them and letting them know that if work isn't done properly, it costs us all, and ultimately costs them a lot of downtime too if we break one of those cables. Okay, call the roll.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. O is utility permit number 1229 with Windstream Nebraska, Inc. for the installation of underground cable approximately 500 feet along Saltillo Road just west of South 110th Street.
Approval?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore? Raybold?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. P is utility permit number 1230 with Windstream Nebraska, Inc. for the installation of underground cable approximately 500 feet along Little Salt Road at North 14th Street.
Move approval.
Second?
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5Q is a sale and quitclaim deed from Lancaster County as grantor to Pester Properties LLC as grantee for portions of Southwest 28th Street, West Diamond Street, and West Fry Street as originally platted in Werger's addition to Martell, Nebraska.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold? Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5R is a political subdivision tort claim filed against Lancaster County Corrections by Vontavious Horton for lost property in amount of $5.
Based on the recommendation of the Director of Corrections, I move we deny.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. S is a political subdivision tort claim filed against Lancaster County Corrections by Michael White Magpie for lost property in amount of $20.
Based on the recommendation of the Director of Corrections, I move we approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. T is a political subdivision tort claim filed against Lancaster County Corrections by Cameron Crisp in the amount of $34,000.
Based on the recommendation of the Director of Corrections, I move we deny.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is 5U, executive session for labor negotiations.
I would recommend that we go ahead and go through the agenda and the Board of Equalization, then come back. Okay? Proceed to consent items.
Right-of-way contracts with the following: William and Joy Plots, Southwest 98th Street and Old Cheney Road for $1,174. Josephine Alexis Molly Trustee, Northwest 84th Street and West Adams Street for $217. Receive and place on file the County Sheriff's Monthly Report for October 2014.
Move
Setting
approval.
setting a public hearing on Tuesday, December 9th, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in Room 112 with the County City Building regarding proposed updates to the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Regulations and Standards.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Call the roll.
Amundson?
Yes.
Smoyer?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 7, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to the county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good morning, and we'll now receive public comment.
For the record, Gary Aldridge, ALDRIDGE, 7112 South 45, Lincoln, Lancaster County, Nebraska, 68516. I'm one of the owners. Where to start? I'm going to step back for a second and make an observation. I have no empirical data to support this. As I was driving here from where I live, I calculated that 9 of every 10 drivers operating a motor vehicle on the streets with me in Lincoln had their butts turpentined. No patience, no courtesy, and no discipline. You should rule me out of order now because, according to your rules and regulations, and I have no quarrel with reasonable rules and regulations, I cannot speak to you. Because it says those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda. Before the meeting, I approached for an advisory opinion from someone because I wanted to consider the business that you conducted under 5A, refinancing of the bonds. In fact, after the two gentlemen had spoken, while the motion was on the floor and before a vote was taken, from where I was sitting, I stood up, perhaps as a signal that I wanted to come and say something. I can't do that now because it's on the agenda, and that's what I wanted to speak about.
If it pertains to county business, if you have a valid point to make, you have the opportunity right now, because we can vote to reconsider the motion. If there's something that needs to be brought to our attention, we want
You've already taken action, and the rules, your rules say not on the agenda. Is that correct? We've gone down this road before. It's on the agenda. You've
We'll
taken
have
action
County
on
Attorney
the
Brittany
agenda.
Behrens address this for you, please. Gary?
The board can allow Mr. Aldridge to speak at any point in time that you'd like to. If you feel as if he wasn't given an opportunity, and he's asking for one now as it relates to item 5A, as Commissioner Hudkins correctly pointed out, they could reconsider the item. So if the board so chooses to let Mr. Aldridge speak on that item, you have every right to do so. That's the choice of the board.
Is it consensus? If it relates to county business, you have the platform. If I missed you when you stood up, I'm sorry. Usually people that want to speak come into the center aisles, and if I missed you, I'm sorry.
So the rules are flexible. I didn't want to come today. The fact that I'm here is because of Kevin Abarisk. You have him to thank or blame. There was an article in the Journal Star yesterday. City, county could save 2.16 M with refinancing. One of you is quoted as saying, trying to save money is what we should be doing because that's what businesses do on a regular basis. And you're a business, a very large business. I have some questions. Basically, that's what I wanted to do. I have some questions, and some of those questions perhaps were answered and some of them were not. The refinancing, and that's what you have done for some bonds, required a public action, and you've taken that action. Apparently then, prior to this public action or vote, this will not be considered as a public comment section, so that people will not have to come and swear or affirm that they're giving true and correct testimony. Is that correct? It won't be considered as public comments.
I think we're going to need to keep you up here, Brittany. Sorry.
No, the guidelines actually speak to public hearings, and it's actually public hearings that require sworn testimony. Public comment does not, pursuant to the board's guidelines.
So this particular action is not going to be considered as a public hearing
Correct.
Right.
Which action?
on the refinancing.
No, there was no public hearing required by law for
Okay.
the refinancing and
That was
reissue.
that was my question. So I'm not going to have to swear or affirm.
No, go.
All right. Some questions. I guess I'm done.
No, you have three, I'll give you 3 minutes.
All right.
To let him
Yep,
on this
yep.
item, 3 more minutes.
This plan or scheme would combine or refinance the bond issue of 2004 and the bond issue of 2005 into one bond issue. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. This refinance or combine would not exceed $21 million.
Correct.
What would the new term or length of this refinance or combine be?
Not any longer than the previous. It just simply lowers the interest rate. That's the reason we found it advantageous for the taxpayers to do.
How long?
We're not stretching it out any
How
longer
many
than it
years
was.
would that be?
Whatever the original he mentioned this morning.
I think
that
it's
the ci-
2026.
Yes.
From now to 2026?
I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, one bond on the health department only goes to 2016, so we have less of a benefit than the city. The reason there's a different length of time is because that's dictated by the legislature.
There was, in the article in the Journal Star, there was some speculation or confusion about the new refinance rate. In one paragraph, a refinance rate of 2.29% is used, and in another paragraph, a refinance rate of 2.3% is used. That's not much difference, but is it one or the other or both?
I think the figure that was given to us was an average. It's,
I read in the paper.
The two gentlemen that were up here, I don't think they were specific. It was about or approximately. Okay. So,
I think it depends. You know, they're doing all the paperwork. We have to pass the resolutions. We have to go out to the Moody's to get a determination of what that final interest rate will be, and then it is up for an offering. They'll offer the first part of the bond in January and the second part of the second bond that is permissible sometime in April or maybe in March, because it can be due and payable in April. So it depends on what the ratings get back to us on that interest rate. And so I think those are the approximate interest rate that they provide to us at this point in time. It's not finalized until we get the determination back from Moody's and the other rating organizations.
Does that mean that this will come back for board action in the future?
No, not likely, because we've given them the authority to go ahead and proceed for going out and working with these organizations to get the bonds.
Well, let's talk about the dollar savings. It's unclear to me. It talks about 2.16 million or 683K or 66K or 1.4 million.
Again, the difference between the combination of bonds, the city was able to go out for 22 years. We were only able to go out for 12 years. So there are different rates for different entities. But it will be prorated per amount that each entity has outstanding bonds issued for.
Let me ask the question.
And therefore, the range on the interest rates, this is their best estimate of on where that would fall in today's market.
Let me ask the question this way. How much money will Lancaster County not pay if the bonds are refinanced? Do you know that?
Well,
we need to refinance them in order to see the refund. And that's why we're doing it, because we will get a refund. On one bond, we get more of a refund versus the other bond, because the length and term of the bond is greater. So there were two separate bonds that they were looking at, and the city of Lincoln has a greater distribution of that bond, so they will see a greater savings than Lancaster County.
But
both entities will.
I understood that from the paper. I'm not interested in the mechanics. My question is, how much money will Lancaster County not pay? Do you know that?
Well,
in those amounts, combined, the city and the county will save a tremendous amount of money. I believe the article broke it down on what each entity is likely to receive, and that in both cases for both bonds, it's substantial. And this is what people do as a matter of routine. You know, if you have a loan, if you have a mortgage, oftentimes people, if the interest rates are lower, they go out to refinance, and it's a benefit to them, and it's certainly a benefit to our taxpayers.
Gary, you've got some legitimate questions and you need some specific answers to. I would suggest that you go into our offices and sit down with Dennis Meyer, and I'll visit with him and have him, so he knows who you are and that we referred you to him. He can answer these questions and drill down and explain this in detail to you. You're wanting to know, there's no problem whatsoever, but Dennis could probably do a better job of explaining this to you and answering your specific questions.
And they are very good questions.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would prefer to deal with the people who are elected to deal with these matters, which is you five.
After you discuss it with Dennis, and if you have additional questions, you're welcome to come back and visit with us.
I've got about 6 pages of questions and haven't even scratched the surface. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is number 8, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will not hold a staff meeting next meeting on Thursday, November 27th, 2014, due to the Thanksgiving holiday. The next regularly scheduled staff meeting will be on Thursday, December 4th, 2014 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesday and Saturday on 5 City TV, cable channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV, video on demand, or 5 City TV on YouTube.
We'll recess the regular county board meeting at this time and open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, November 25th. Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the County Assessor's Office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, November 18th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second?
Are there additions or corrections to the minutes? Call the roll, please, Mr. Clerk.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are motor vehicle tax exemption applications for Homestead Presbytery, Pius X High School, St. Paul United Methodist Church, and Sheridan Lutheran Church.
Move approval of the exemptions.
Second?
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Not? We'll proceed with adjournment.
Move we adjourn the Board of Equalization.
Second?
Call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
County Board of Equalization is adjourned and will return to item U.
Move we enter executive